Early morning update here on the 27th. I'm just watching this melt up. Meta earnings yesterday completely changed the chart. I'll look at that here in a second, but it kind of blew up what I thought was going to happen. So basically, Microsoft, starting out with Microsoft, still bullish here. So if we're looking at this as a 5-wave move, I think this is wave 1 right here. We have wave 2 pullback. And then you can see we get a 3rd wave outside, 4th wave pullback. And then I'm looking at this 5th wave as 1, 2, 3, 4. Currently in a 5th wave, in which it's just an extended 5th wave basically. 1, 2. The earnings play after earnings was a 3rd wave. Pulled back a little bit, and I'm expecting this to be pretty much the end of this move. I think I originally said 303, 304, but if we get an extended 5th wave, then looking at this using fibs, I would say this could go all the way up to 309, potentially 313, but 309 is still in weekly supply. If we go over here and just look at this chart and look at like smaller time frames, there is a, let's see if there's any gaps. The heck is this at? There we go. Yeah, so there's a gap right here at 306.86. And so that's pretty much going to be my target. 306.86 would be a gap fill that would complete the 5th wave, and then we can head lower. So I give this another 1% move probably. As far as QQQ, based on that, based on where Meta's at, I mean, if Amazon has, if we have another 10% earnings play, then maybe this can go up to 327. Again, it's just kind of, it's in a supply zone too, so it's very hard to say. Based on these moves are insane. Meta, what is Meta at? I'll look at it here in a second. But we are either going to see the whole thing be A, B, and we're going to come down here to, I was looking at 307, but it might go lower than that, something like that. Or this is just going to go ahead and melt up, like I said, to 327. And Amazon and the rest of the earnings for the end of the week are going to help us out a lot. We have Apple next week. So maybe it does melt up into the Fed and then we sell off more. Kind of hard to say on this one right now. It could go either way, though, depending on Amazon earnings. SPY, like I talked about yesterday, could go to 420 if this was a 4th wave. Could be a bounce as well. Could be A, bounce, and C lower like that. Not much has changed with that because we are bouncing and going into the supply zone at 409.50 that I talked about. So we'll see what happens with that once it hits the supply zone. Of course, QQQ is already in the supply zone. And Tesla. I don't think Tesla is finished yet. It's bouncing right now. But I think that this is likely just the end of, let's see. Yeah, this is the end of the 3rd wave right here. So we got 1, 2, 3. And you can go through this pretty easily. So 1, 2, 3rd wave of, so starting the 3rd wave here, we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then within that we have 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overall third wave. We should be starting a fourth wave right now. And so now that we know this is the bottom most likely, draw our parallel lines. And I would expect potentially all the way up here to 161. You can see also there is a supply zone around there. So 161 would be my target on Tesla. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. And that might go into Monday. So this might go all the way through Monday. Something like this. That would be the fourth wave. And then we would get fifth wave down. And that would complete the overall correction. So that would be probably, let's get a good area of where this could go. Could go down to 142 to 137 potentially. And that would complete the overall WXY correction. Would be a great buy. We'd do the gap fill, be in daily demand, potentially weekly demand. Can't go past 133. And then we would take off to the upside. So as you can see, there's not going to be that much correction probably in the overall market. That's another basically 10% after it corrects, maybe going into Friday or Monday. So I expect Microsoft and Meta, which I'll go over now, 240. Okay. So does Meta have any? Let me go back to this. Let's see if Meta has any gaps up here. Probably does. So there you go. I mean, this gap right here, 289 might be the end up being the target. So 289, there is a gap there. So that means we're probably going to do something like, let me go back to the regular. Let me mark this real quick. I would say 289 would be my target. But on this move right here, I don't know, about 255 maybe. It's such a weird formation because I had 5 waves right here, but maybe this is actually the third wave right here, fourth wave, and the fifth wave right here. Kind of the same thing on Microsoft. It looked like a third wave. It looked like the completion of a wave, and then it ended up doing one more move higher. So that makes it maybe this will end up being a pullback, and then we're going to go up here to like 289. Something like that is kind of what I'm thinking now. 255. I don't see any supply zones around there. So we'll see where it goes, but that's pretty much the structure I'm thinking. Originally, I was thinking it was going to be a 5-wave move, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. But for as far how high it's gone, it's got to be W, X, Y, but each one is A, B, C. So A, B, C. That's the only possible way I could see it going that high without it being a 5-wave move. So that would be a gap fill right there at 289. And yeah, so that's Meta. So I went over Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla the most, but I think that we'll have to just watch these two. I'm kind of expecting the same thing. I think now looking at both Microsoft's chart and Tesla's chart and Meta knowing it's about topped out, I would say we're probably going to do the ABC down. So A, pull back, B down. So that's it for now. I'll do an update later if it needs to happen, but if not, maybe you'll hear from me tomorrow. Good luck trading.